Because when you're born as stateless, you don't have your birth certificate, you live your life, you die, and you don't have your death certificate. My name is Maha Mamo. For 30 years of my life, I lived as a stateless person. Do you know what a stateless person is? Did you imagine a life with no basic rights, no education, no work, no healthcare, nothing? Did you imagine your life in the pandemic, not being able to go out, not being able to travel, not being able to go and come freely? Imagine a life with an endless pandemic.
Citizenship as well.
I was born in Lebanon. Lebanon gives you nationality only if your father is Lebanese. My father was Syrian, my mom as well, so automatically I should be Syrian. But my mom is Muslim and my father is Christian. The interreligious marriage in Syria is not acceptable. So as my parents knew that they would not be able to get married at any time in Syria, they ran from Syria to Lebanon. They got married in Lebanon inside a church, but this marriage was never registered. They got 3 kids, my sister, me, and my brother. As a kid, you don't really know. You have documents, you don't have documents. This doesn't mean anything for you. But in reality, the first struggle started when we were little kids. We wanted to go to school. How are you going to go to school if you don't have documents? The first question that the director or the administration going to ask you is, who are those kids? So my mom had to go to many schools and beg the director and ask them, please do me a favor, I need the kids to study, until one Armenian school accepted us. When we started growing up, that's when I started to figure out that there is something tricky here. There is something missing. I used to play basketball, but I was never able to participate in any event outside the school. All my Girl Scouts, they went to a field trip to Jordan from Lebanon, and I was not able to join them. That's when I said, no, wait a minute. There is something so serious going on, and I need to understand what's going on with me. At that time, I was around 15, 16 years old. I started asking my parents. My parents were like, no, this is something we're not going to speak about. This is something not for your age. So the word itself, stateless, didn't show up in any of those conversations. It showed up only on a later stage when I saw, unfortunately, that there is no way. Like the Lebanese is going to tell you, you're Syrian, go solve it in Syria. The Syrian is going to tell you, there is no way we're going to help you. And no one really looks at it as a human being problem. They're going to look at it as politic problem, as religious problem, but not as a human being issue, We were not able to go to hospital because every time you arrive to the hospital, the first question is, who are you? Where's your insurance card? Where is your documents? We were not able to work a decent job because every time you have to work, you need your proper documents to be working legally. But to study, you need to work. How to work without documents? How are you going to go to hospital without documents? How are you going to live your life and exist as a human being if you're living a life in a shadow? That's when I started sending my story all over the world. So for 10 years of my life, 10 years, on a daily basis, sending emails to all the embassies worldwide, presidents, ministers, anyone who could really be a help for me. I received many replies saying, hey, we're sorry, we cannot help you. Hey, we really feel about you. We really know your story, but we're sorry, we cannot help you. Even the UNHCR at that time, they were like, okay, we're sorry, we cannot do anything. And I didn't give up. After 10 years, in 2014, the only country in the entire world that accepted me as a human being and said, please come, was Brazil. Me, my sister, and my brother, we arrived there. As stateless people, we never had a bank account, so you never saved money really, to start a new life. But I didn't speak Portuguese, which is the language of Brazil, so I couldn't find a job that was so difficult for us in this part. I can work anything. So my first job in Brazil was distributing journals on the red light, on the street. It's a basic job. I was getting my salary, I was paying my bills, eating, and that's more than enough. My main concern was when I'm gonna get my nationality. And I discovered that in the Brazilian law, there is not a definition of stateless person. So there is no mechanism to get the nationality. There is no way we're going to get the nationality anytime soon. But as they considered us stateless refugees, and my parents were Syrian, and with all the war happening in Syria, we applied for refugee status. That's how we get our basic documents. On November 2014, the UNHCR worldwide launched a campaign. The campaign name is I Belong and Statelessness. It started in 2014. They said in 10 years, we're gonna end statelessness worldwide. Then they started inviting me to some events to share my story with authorities, to share my story with people from the government, to let them know, to be aware of what's my real situation and see how they can help. On May 2016, Brazil accepted us as refugees. It means they gave us the residency for 5 years. But life is cruel. Exactly after 1 month of getting the refugee status, I lost my brother. In a robbery, they were trying to steal him, his watch, his wallet. He didn't speak Portuguese well, and they gave him only one shot. One shot in his heart ended his life. He died as a stateless person, but he lived for a year and a half as a human being. We could give him the death certificate, which is the minimum human dignity that a stateless person does not have. I want my nationality. I don't want to die a stateless person. I started to be more active. Fortunately, the media, the international media, got interested in our story. I participated in many small documentaries. I did many interviews. I started to be here and there, and I dedicated my life to raise awareness. In 2017, the new law, the new migration law of Brazil, had a full chapter that speaks about statelessness. In 2018, me and my sister were the first 2 people in the history of Brazil to be recognized as stateless people. My first identity as a human being. I got my first passport, real passport from Brazil, like any other Brazilian, having my name on it. Eventually, I realized my life dream. It's not only about me and my sister. It's about all those millions and millions of people worldwide that no one speaks about them. No one gives them a voice. But they exist. They are people. They are not shadows. A lot of moments. I said, I wish those people knew about it. And it's really sad, bad. We need to educate people, yes. But when you ask someone, do you know what stateless person is? And they tell you, oh, those terrorists. Oh, those people that they have nothing. Oh, poor them. Oh, I don't know what. No. It could be you if you were born in a country that you felt in the gap of those laws. It could be you who was stateless. All the stateless people worldwide. I hope one day raising awareness, speaking up, sharing more and more the story and speaking up really about it, we can change the laws wherever you are. So you don't need to pass through everything I passed through.